Hello everybody and welcome to Grocery Store Tycoon. So I'm finally here. We are finally playing it. We finished with Supermarket Simulator and a few other things on the channel. So we are finally here back with Grocery Store Tycoon. So I played the prologue version of this however many months ago that was. I did 4 episodes of that. Really fun. Played the demo version over a year ago. Really fun. Really enjoyed this game. I think it's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, this is the first opportunity I've actually had to start making some content on it. So here we are. Just choosing our character to get us started. I think I'm going to go with Debbie Downer. You can change the name to whatever you want it to be, but I'm just going to leave it as Debbie Downer. It doesn't really make any difference. I just think you get better stats here. I think the 15,000 over 10,000 is pretty useful at the beginning of the game to give you some good starting cash. She's got a better supervision bonus, 40% to 20%. Less money at desk work profit boost, so that's where you can buy a desk later on in the game and you can sit behind a desk and earn more money while your employees run around. You know, it's useful to have that extra 3%, but by the time we're doing that, I think we're going to be doing pretty well anyway, so I'm not really bothered by that. Better stamina so we can work for longer. We passively gain tokens 5% faster, which I think is good later on in the game when we're trying to get tokens, because that's how you unlock things in this game, is you have to unlock tokens and then spend them on whichever part of the tree you want to unlock things like restockers or fridges, freezers, all that kind of thing. I think that's better to earn them faster later on. The game does give you them as well via challenges that pop up, but I think it's useful to have that. That does come at a cost of not starting with 2, which would be handy, but I think this is better long term. So I'm going to go with Debbie Downer. Okay, and here we are then at our store. So as you can see, completely empty and ready for us to go. So if you aren't familiar with this game and you haven't seen my previous videos, I will probably go into a reasonable amount of detail as we play about what to do, but if I don't go into enough detail and you've still got questions, I probably did go into that kind of detail in my prologue series and maybe even the demo as well. I spent quite a bit of time going through all of the different options. But you can play this game in sort of 2 different ways. So you play this first person like any sort of shop simulator where, you know, run around, but you can also come to a top-down view for placing things like shelving and also accessing your information. Instead of having like a PC in the game, I suppose, you just come out into this mode where you can look at everything here. You can also pause and fast forward time as well, which is quite handy. So you can play it like a top-down game, but also it is just a shop simulator as well underneath. So we've got all of these things, but all of these things are locked currently because we need to get some tokens. So you do get tokens a variety of different ways. So our experience, every time you level up, you get a token. There will be some challenges that will come up in yellow. Well, hopefully. I have played this game where, just on my own time, I've been playing a little bit of this game where sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Like sometimes they'll pop up pretty regular, and then other times I haven't seen them for like hours, and they don't pop up at all. So I think they are a bit randomized. Hopefully we'll get lucky with a few. Once you get some tokens, you can spend them in your progress tree here to unlock things like cash registers, cashiers, restockers, freezers, all sorts of different things, you know, advertising here as well to get more customers in. So we will get into all of that as we go in the series. Actually, let's take my character outside a second though, because at the moment she's going to be standing in the way. So she can stand outside because we need to put some shelving in. Now you see up here, there is like a speaker here, like a hot tip for you. If you're ever stuck for cash, you're like, oh, I've got no money for some reason, just sell the speaker. It comes with it in the game. You won't be able to hear any music. I think you can rebuy it again at some stage, but if you're really like, oh no, I've run out of cash, just sell the speaker. I think you get 350 for it or something. Yeah, 375. It's a free 375. If you ever need a bit of cash, just sell it. I might be tempted to get rid of it anyway, because I don't necessarily think we always need music in the game, but I can get rid of the speaker anyway. Anyway, let's start building then. So we'll get some large shelves. This is where it's handy to have the $15,000 of starting cash, because we can just get straight in here and basically put all of the shelving in that I currently need straight away. We don't have to worry about it or anything like that. I can just get all of this in, and then we're not sort of scratching around for cash at all. So I do like that. Now I'm going to go for a similar setup to I went for in my, I think it was the prologue. I went with a similar setup to this. Let's just pause the game. It does like to restart again. I like to keep it paused while I'm thinking. It just gives you a bit of thinking time, and then you don't lose the whole day then. But yeah, I think I did this kind of layout layout in the beginning of the prologue, but we only ever had this space. We will be able to expand, I believe, in this version. So I think that's the shelving I need. I think I need 2 more of these and a small, and I think that will fit all of the items we currently have available in store. As I have done a little bit of research on the matter. So if I do that, that there, and then we can put a plant down the left-hand side. Bamboo. Might look all right down there. Something like that. That's going to basically be the supermarket for now. I do need to put in a cash register. Now, I think I had it over here, didn't I? If you remember in the prologue, I think we had it down here somewhere. Doesn't fit at the moment because it takes quite a lot of room, as you can see. So we're just going to have it over here for now. Out the way. I can't get any baskets yet, so we have a basket stand. But that you have to unlock it in the progress tree. The same with the cart supply corral as well. So they do have shopping carts. So they will use those as well, but you have to unlock them in the progress tree. The advantages for having those things is they will buy more things. So if you give them baskets, they will buy more products because they can carry more products. If you give them a shopping trolley or shopping cart, you can obviously sell them more things because they can put more things in their cart. That's how that works. So it is beneficial, but they do kind of, without them, carry somewhere between sort of 3 to 7 items anyway, it seems. So it's not too bad. They can carry a few things by hand. So you don't need to like rush for it straight away, because what I'm going to do in the progress tree, as soon as we get the opportunity to, I'm going to unlock the inventory management, because then we can start adjusting our prices and things like that. And then we'll work on like getting a shopping basket after that. But for now, let's get ourselves, let's pause again. Let me get myself an order in, because we need some products. So we have all of these ones available to us immediately. There is an update coming to this game. I don't know when. At the moment, I think it's in playtesting. It's going to add another 30 products to the game. So hopefully that will come during the course of this series. I don't know if it will or not, but hopefully it will. We're not going to be rapidly going through this series. So hopefully it will it'll come before the end. But I know we can get basically 2 of each of these. Just tap it twice. 2 of each of these. We can afford it, and it'll all go onto our shelving. But yeah, we have all of these ones available. We also weirdly have the salami available, as well as bananas. But we don't actually have the shelving available yet. So I don't know why they're kind of available from the start. It's kind of weird. Right, where did we get to? Basmati rice. We did the corn. Cola, corned beef. Crackers. Cranberry juice. Pasta. Green beans. Hot chips. I'm going to buy a lot of paper towels. We get 6 of those. We'll just get a couple of those, couple of those, couple of those, couple of those. I'll get 6 toilet papers. Couple of those. Couple of those, couple of those. Actually, we'll get 3 waters. Actually, we'll get 4 waters, and I think I might get 4 colas as well. But yeah. Actually, we'll get 6 colas. You don't get a lot of them. So obviously this is quite an expensive order. Now, the cool thing you could do here is if you've got like a particular way of ordering, once you get into the game and you know roughly how much stock you're going to get, you can save this as a preset. So if I wanted to save this as, say, what are these? These are dry, aren't they? So if we save this as dry 1, for example, and I save that, let's place the order. If I wanted to go back into my orders now, and we're like, oh, I don't want to go through everything again, I can just click add, and that's our previous order right there. So once you get on top of the game and you learn sort of what you're doing and how much stuff you're ever going to need, it's very easy just to order things. I quite like that. That's a really nice feature. Right, we now need to wait for... the one thing I do need to do is close, because we don't want to be open yet. We need to wait for the truck to arrive. Your deliveries come to the delivery point at the back here. When you are out here, because the shoppers will come and park their cars and whatever, you take trolleys around, you will have to come and collect them from different places and put them away as well. I know there's some trash in here, so we'll get rid of this while we wait. And hopefully the delivery driver won't be too far away. So this is the storeroom. So this is the dry storeroom. So all of your dried goods go in this room. And then out the other side, so in here, which we'll get to in a second, is the cooler, so that all of your fridge products go in the middle. So dried goods in here. All of your fridge stuff in here. So anything that goes in the fridge in the store goes in here. And then you've got your frozen section in here. So anything that's frozen goes in here. So I really like that. You don't get that in... I think... Do you get that in... I don't think you get that anywhere, do you? Even Bettermart, I don't believe, has that. Unless it's changed recently. But yeah, you don't really get the cold storage in many games. Right, that's all of that taken care of. We've just got run over, but never mind. Where there's blame, there's a claim. Right, let's grab the cart, take this outside. And we'll load it up to take it to store. So, yeah, basically this is quite simple. So you just click these, click the cart. It'll quite neatly stack them for you, which is quite handy. So you can get employees that will do all of this for you. We just don't have them unlocked yet, so it's down to us at the beginning of the game, but that's not too much of a problem. At the beginning of the game, this is a fairly big restock. We won't need to be restocking like this, like at the end of every day. In this game, they don't come and wipe out every single product that you have. They do shop pretty much around the whole store, so it's not one of these games where somebody comes in and buys like 10 toilet rolls or something and just cleans you out. They seem to do vary their shop quite a bit. Right, that is full, unfortunately, so we'll just leave that one there. Right, let's take this to the shop. Obviously, I can't now see. We can actually come round the edge here. We don't actually need to go through the storeroom. We can cut that out and straight in here. Right, let's see what we've got then. Right, toilet paper, salt, a lot of stuff there that I think I want around the other side. So I have had, as I say, I've been playing this a little bit off camera. So I've kind of going to go with the same layout I went with there. So it worked quite well. So paper towels. Now, if you've got some stuff on, all you have to do is press Control, and then you can click it and move stuff around one by one. And if you then, for example, wanted a lot of them, it gives you a little box to put them in as well, if you are moving stuff around. But I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to have all of that as paper towels and all of this as toilet roll. Salty chips can go up there. Toilet roll can go here. The reason I'm doing this, these items from memory and then from a little bit of off-camera play that I've been doing generally sell a lot quicker than some of the other items. And I don't think you get as much in like a pack compared to some of the other things either. So that is why we're doing it this way around. Some salt. Where should we put the salt? Down there, maybe. Paper towels. Back up here. White rice. Is that the same one, or is that that's the same one? We have got two of these. We'll reserve that top shelf for the other one. Pineapple juice. Come just there. More salt. Water. Up there. Tomato sauce. Strawberry cereal. More strawberry cereal. More toilet paper. Water goes around here. Alright, so you see at the top right-hand side now, stock 10 items onto any store shelf. So this is handy for us because we're already doing this. And you can see it counts up as well, so it's now got a 2 in the yellow box, so it counts up to tell you how close you are to completing a task. So this is the first of a task. So that's actually going to give us 30 XP for doing this, or extra XP, than we would have already ordinarily have gotten from doing this, providing we complete it in 2 minutes and 45 seconds, which I'm sure we will. So that will, you either get XP ones, which are obviously handy, or at this stage of the game, which I would hope we get next time, is token ones. So then we can get some tokens to spend so we can get some unlocks. But we'll see how lucky we are with that, because I think it is completely random as to which ones you get. There's no like, oh, you're going to get this many token ones, you're going to get this many XP ones. It is a complete random thing, I think. Look of the draw. But they do give you a nice little helping boost and something to aim for as well. You know, like in most shop simulators, it's just kind of stack the shelves, serve, that's it. You know, you can chase these things a little bit. Gives you something else to do. Right, what else have we got here then? Cola. I think I'm going to double do the cola or double do the water. I haven't decided which one yet, but I'll probably double do the cola. Towels. Cranberry juice. All right, that's done that. We've got 30 XP from just doing our job, really. At this stage of the game, we were doing this anyway, so that's a handy extra 30 XP. But that could have been anything. That could have been something we can't do. It could be something that we were fortunate with in this case that we were already doing. It could be anything like that. So, what are we doing for time? It's 11:15. It's not too bad. So time goes reasonably slowly, as you can see. Every minute is a second or so. A bit more, maybe 2 seconds. So yeah, you've got plenty of time. So the clock just runs all day because you can open and close at different hours of the day. So we have a schedule. We can't access it yet because I've not unlocked it. But we have a scheduled system. So you can have the store open at say 9 a.m. and close at, I don't know, 8 p.m. for example. And basically what that does is, because we can have employees, we can tell employees to come in at different times of the day. So we could have I don't know, an overnight restocker or something that comes in when we're closed. We might want to stay closed for an hour every morning to get stock on the shelves, for example, rather than be open and be struggling. Things like that. It does tell you when you come into the game what your busiest hour is as well. So eventually I think we're going to have different locations. We can open stores around the map in different locations. Or at least it gives you that feel when you come into the game. And what that will basically mean is different locations have different busiest hours. So here on this location, the busiest hour for us is 3 p.m. So we get most of our customers at 3 p.m. anyway. Let's leave the cart just there. Yeah, so we get most of our customers at 3 p.m. anyway. So closing through the morning's not that bad, actually. Now, once you've got your store stocked, if you've never played this yourself, a good idea is then to come over here, and hopefully you've got $300 handy to restock your impulse items, which are chocolate bars, Mentos, all of that kind of thing. And these do sell pretty well. So as they come through, they buy a load of their stuff, they come through, and then they will pick up a few more items from here. And they're a good little money earner. They are well worth doing. Right, let's open up. And let's get earning. So we shouldn't sell out of anything. Today, as I say, they do sort of shop for everything. They're not just going to come and buy 20 apple juices and clear you out of a certain item or anything like that. So we should be good. We do need to turn on our checkout, otherwise nobody will come. Right, so if I now were to say tab out, so if you don't want to wait for them to go around the shop, the cool thing about this game is we can come into this view and I can accelerate by that much or by this much, and they will just go around doing their shopping, and we're not just kind of wasting our time waiting for them to do their shop. And then we can just come back into normal play mode. So you can see she's got that in her hand because we don't have any baskets. So they can't carry too much stuff. As I say, I think it's about 7 items or so that they can get. I think they can often fill up with the impulse buys because, of course, they can put their stuff down and then pick an impulse buy up afterwards. So kind of how that works. You have got quite a bit of detail as well. So if you hover over a customer, we know that customer 16 is shopping for salt, spaghetti pasta, and hot chips. And it tells you how satisfied they are, how long they've been in the store, have they got everything that they're looking for. So you can get a good idea of what your customers are actually shopping for as well, which I really, really like. You can get that more detailed in the management tree later on when you go into like your inventory and your finance and all that sort of stuff. We can't look at that yet, but hopefully in an episode or two's time, we will have a look at that. Because yeah, you get a good idea of what's being sold, what you've got where, all of that sort of thing. So we'll build towards getting different shelving as well. So we've got produce as well. So there'll be produce, sort of, fruits and vegetables, all that kind of stuff. We've got fridge section. We've got a frozen section. We've got meat counters as well, which have staff that serve behind. So like a deli counter that serve behind as well. So we've got staff that will serve the customers whatever they want as they go around. You do get the occasional customer that will stand towards the door and then move on, hoping that person would do it. Usually that's the thing, is if you don't stock what they're after. So if you don't currently sell fruit and veg or something, they will kind of just look through the window and see you've not got any, rather than come in and complain. They will just kind of go, oh, you don't sell fruit and vegetables, and then off they go. Rather than come in and complain, you don't sell this item. They just won't bother coming in at all. If the game has triggered somebody like that. Ooh, 2 Snickers bars for you. Thank you. So you see it says total in register as well. So you'll be, if you're looking at the top left corner and wondering why my finances are not going up, despite the fact we are serving customers. For example, once we serve this customer here, like so, they're going to spend $52, and you'll see it's not changed at the top left at all. So if you're curious about that, that's because it goes into the checkout drawer here. So you can just click this anytime. You can leave it in there, do whatever you want to do. It just goes into the cash drawer, basically. And you come around. So if you had quite a few of these, 4 or 5 around the store, you can come around and just go on a cash run and collect your cash like so. So yeah, that's where your money is saved. You can sort of wrongly scan an item as well. I have done it only a couple of times by accident, but if you were to miss the register somehow, like that for example, and then go straight to their bag, you can end up giving them an item for free. So make sure you go through the center and bleep it. Otherwise you can start giving away free items. But if you want to be generous, of course, you can just put it straight in their bag and they can take it away for free. So you can also see at the top right, so our experience is going up pretty well, but our energy is declining. Now Debbie's got a reasonable stamina, so she can pretty much work. Well, she can work an entire day and a bit more. So how do you regain energy? There are 2 ways of regaining energy. So you can go home. So you have to go home at the end of each day, and she'll go to bed and sleep and come back the next day refreshed. That's one way of regaining energy. There is also, while they're just shopping, in that far corner over there, I think you can just see like those green tops on it. There's a coffee shop over there, and we can go and get a coffee. In fact, I'll run over there now and show you. We don't need it, but I'll go and show you. So we can run over here. So if you're really depleted of energy and you don't want to go home yet, because maybe the shop's still open or something, you can come to Starbucks and buy a coffee for $24.99. A bit pricey, but it will give you... I can't remember how much it is, to be honest. I get the... Was it a quarter energy? That seems familiar. I did do it in my prologue playthrough of this. So I'm sure we'll end up doing it in this one as well. But I think it gives you a quarter of your energy back, which is not bad. If you're desperately wanting to stay at the store for some reason. Because maybe your employee doesn't turn up for work, because that does happen as well. So maybe you've got an employee and they call in sick one day and they're not coming to work, so suddenly you need to work the cash register, but your character's dead on their feet and hasn't got any energy. You can go and get a quick coffee and stay open for a couple more hours, which might be what you need to, survive that day or something. So be careful with your energy management as well. Hello there. See, this is a reasonable shop, isn't it? To say we haven't got any baskets. But she has stocked up a lot on impulse buys. So this is definitely a thing. Make sure you get plenty of these impulse buys. Make sure they're fully stocked. Because they are worth quite a bit of money. So as you can see, we need to sell 15 chocolate milks. Now, at the moment, we don't sell chocolate milk, so we're actually not able to fulfill that task. That's what I say about the random nature of it. We got lucky before with the XP that we did earlier because we were already stacking shelves. But we can't actually sell chocolate milk. I don't have access to the chocolate milk. Until we get a token, I can't unlock it. I can't even do anything with it. So that's just going to tick by and, you know, in 12 minutes time, that'll be gone. So that's going to be one we miss out on, but they are, like I say, completely random. Sometimes you get lucky with them, sometimes you won't. So we'll just fast forward a little bit more. Serve some customers. So I am hoping one of these tasks comes up that will enable us to get some extra tokens. At the moment, we're not far away from a token. We're nearly... What are we? We're over 3/4 of the way through experience level 1, so we're getting towards a token. Once we get that token, I'm going to... Like I said, I'm going to get the inventory management, which means we can change prices and keep track of what's selling, what's not selling, that kind of thing. I think that'll be more beneficial to us than a basket or a cashier at the beginning of the game. We can start earning some serious cash straight away, kind of thing. Let's fast forward a little bit. You can't fast forward in first person. You can only fast forward from the top down view, which is not a problem really, because you can kind of watch people shop there as well. It's like having CCTV. You can also like zoom it down and kind of wander around the store, leaving Debbie just there as well. Hello there, sir. That's an interesting... Have you dyed your hair? Because your mustache does not match your hair. I think he's had his Just for Men out. There you go, sir. Thank you. I think our store closes... I want to say our store closes at 10 p.m. Not 100%, but I think it's 10 p.m. I'll be able to... I should be able to show you, even though we can't see it. I think we should be able to possibly see it here. You can kind of see it here. So we have to unlock this with the progress tree, but this would be what your... So this would be how you get your shift patterns in. So your staff would be on, say, shift B. So a shift B worker would come in at 11. This is all customizable for yourself. Would come in at 11 and go home at 12, which would be after closing, because the store opens at 7 and closes at 9. So you get a couple of hours there, or 3 hours, of restocking at the end of the day. So I quite like all that as well. It gives the store a much more realistic feel, that you can tell people to come to work overnight to restock, which also means, of course, because then you can just buy in a big load of stock, get them to come in, restock while the store's closed, so you're ready to go the next day. They can come in a bit earlier as well, finish off, which is a lot more realistic to a supermarket than quite a lot of games I've played. Right, we are now level 1, so we have the opportunity to alter some prices here. I can spend that token in the inventory management, so we can go ahead and do that now. So we could spend it in any of them, really. So in the progress tree, we've now got 1, so we could get any of these. Platform cart, that's how you get started with your restockers. So that would just be unlocking the cart, and then you can get restockers later on. Shopping basket, they can obviously purchase more goods because they can carry more, as I've explained. Cashier would be for a cashier, but I think we're not busy enough to warrant a cashier right now. I can keep on top of doing the cashier work as well as doing restocking as well, so it's not really necessary. Walking cooler, we'll just stick with the products we've got for now. Let's just build up from where we are. Same with walking freezer. So it's going to have to be inventory management. I don't need employee management yet, but I will need this one and this one to get a cashier. So you have to have employee management unlocked before you can get staff as well. A desk Not really much point having a desk because there's only me here. So we'll get inventory management, and we'll unlock that. And if I were to go to manage now, go down to inventory. Let's pause the game a second while we look at this to make sure that... I don't think they get too annoyed if they wait for a while, but obviously they're not going to get annoyed if we're on pause. So this tells you how things are selling and how much you're selling them for. So obviously we've not been playing long enough to have a whole graph here, but this would build up and you'll get a rough idea of over a 7-day period of what you're selling or what you're not selling. So we know that what demand is compared to how many we're selling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have a 20% margin on everything, just to start us off. So we're going to have 20% on absolutely everything. And then should we find that, say, the demand is lower than, if demand, say, of our apple juice drops to 6, and so it's only half demand, we're not really selling that many either, maybe we're only selling 3 now, then I've probably gone the wrong way on price, so I could maybe, lower the margin a little bit, make it a bit more enticing to buy apple juice, but we'll just set it at 20 for now, and then fiddle with it as we go. So the way the shoppers work in this game is they kind of come in, a bit like in real life, I suppose. They come in with sort of a set amount they can spend, and they will only buy that many items, obviously, that they can afford. So if you price them out of too many items, they might only buy 1 item, because maybe they walk in with $15, and they wanted crackers and corned beef, but now they could only buy crackers, so you lose out on the corned beef sale. So you have to kind of watch it like that, because that's how they work. So you have to be careful with your prices. But if we go 20% on everything to start with, then yeah, we'll take it from there based on demand, how much we sell. So for example here, there's a lot of demand for green beans, but we only sold 2. So you would think that maybe our current price, whatever that was maybe... maybe was that what it started at? It's taking us back to that. Maybe that price is too high already. Maybe they're not happy with that because the demand is way higher than what we're selling. So I'm going to up this anyway to 20%. For 431's fine. We'll sell it for 431 because we don't give change anyway, so it doesn't matter about round prices. But yeah, up the price of this. But if this stays really low, then we've gone very wrong with that. So I might have to lower that and lower that down to help people with the demand there. So we'll take this one to 20% as well. Will that be about 790? So you can type in whatever number you want in here. I just find it easier to press this until you get to 20%. Okay, that's all of our prices at 20%. So we'll keep an eye on this. So we'll give it a couple more days. So obviously we've only got like an hour left of today. So we'll give it the rest of today. We'll give it probably a couple more days, and then we'll come back to this. And if anything is really struggling, or if we're noticing we're not selling out of anything, or if we're selling out of something too quickly as well, and we can't keep it on the shelves fast enough, then maybe add a bit of extra money to it just to slow those sales down a little bit so we can keep the stock on the shelves as well. So we'll keep an idea of that, but as I say, that'll be like over the course of the next 3 or 4 in-game days, and then we'll have a bit of data built up as to how well our prices are suited and whether or not they're working, which is another thing I really like about this game, that we can do that. All right, order at least 5 cases of frozen items. I can't do that either, annoyingly. We're not got very lucky with our bonus XP or tokens. We haven't got any token bonuses, which is annoying. But we haven't got very lucky with our XP. Right, the store is closing. So we must close at 9 PM then, or is that store is closing in your final hour? That possibly means you're in your final hour. Let's have a look. Okay, we are closed. So we close at 9. Okay, well that is it then for the day. So let's take our $1,000 out of here. And that will do today's episode. So what I'll do between the videos is I'll order a bit more stock. I don't think we need that much, but I'll order a bit more stock. And then we're ready to go next time. So I'll order some more. I might put one of these cereals down here as well. Whichever cereal is selling pretty well, I might put down there. So we'll leave it for now. But I might buy a few more toilet papers and stuff like that. Maybe some more of the Gringles. Put a few more of those on. So I'll get some of those ready for the start of the next video. And try and get us a little bit... maybe I'll do a day off camera just to try and get a bit more experience so that in the next video we can maybe look at getting one of the other things. So whether it be getting the employee management, getting a cashier or a shopping basket or whatever it is that we decide, we'll do that next time. But for today, that will do us. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Let me know if you do want this to be a series. I am planning this to be a series, but obviously if the appetite has now gone, because this game did come out in June, so if you've already seen it or already played it, or you don't want to see me play it anymore, just let me know and we'll do something else. But yeah, we'll just do this one for now, and then hopefully next week I'll come back with another, or in a few days for you, come back with another video. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure you leave it a like, consider subscribing to and joining the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you for another video very soon.